If you're starting or growing a local business marketing agency and you're going to be cold calling in order to try to book your first or next appointments, then this is the video that you've been waiting for. You see, over the years, I've cold called a bunch, and I've gotten to the point that I've been doing hundreds of cold calls in a single day consistently for months in order to book appointments and make sales. And after all those years of doing that, this is the system that I have built in order to actually go ahead and do it effectively. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into my screen. I'm going to share it with you. I'm going to explain to you how everything works. And I'm going to show you how you can actually one-click import this yourself into your business so that you can start using it. So let's jump straight into it. And here is the software that we use. There'll be a link in the description to get started for free, and you'll get everything here directly for your account. So basically, here's how it works. This is our outbound prospecting pipeline. And in here, there's a couple things. When we're creating a prospect, we're going to do them in this creating prospect tab. But then from there, once you're ready and we start going into it, we move them into the different stages. For example, ready to ping. That's like, I've already created the prospect. It's time for me to go ahead and give them a call. So I go ahead and call them. Let's say they don't answer. Then I would just move them into no response. And then it'll wait a certain amount of time and it'll take them to retry. And then if they respond by text or something, then we'll see here these different things: reply received, active conversations, things like that. Not much here that you have to actually look at, but the main thing, what really works here, is that where there's pins, these little bells, it tells you like, okay, it's time to go ahead and give them a call. And it tracks every single thing. It tracks what day you want to call them overall based on how hot or cold it is. Is it in the next couple of days? Is it the next week? Is it in the next month? Are they not interested? Or if they just completely close, lost, wrong numbers, things like that. So that's that. Now there's a whole bunch of automations on the back end that actually run this. So if we go into, for example, the automation tab and we go into marketing, you see I've created this outbound prospecting. So here is outbound prospecting operations, the import. So this automation right here, literally we get a CSV file, we import the prospects into here, it automatically removes that tag that we put into it, and then it adds them into the opportunities into the CRM so that you can go ahead and call them. This one's relatively simple. Next thing that we have on here is our dispositions. So for example, what happened on the call. Based on those different things, you'll see. So for example, we have dialer dispositions, and these are custom dispositions that we've created specifically on here. So for example, if it's no response, all you do is click no response on the caller and it'll automatically move them. So you don't have to be dragging people around like all the old CRMs. You literally just click a button, say they did not respond, and it'll automatically move them into the different areas of the pipeline for you, so you don't have to do it. Or let's say that they did respond, and let's say that they weren't interested, then you move them to not interested. Or let's say that they went ahead and they were like, call me back in a week or in a couple days or in a month. You have your hot leads, the short term, you have future. If you book an appointment, you move them to appointment booked. If you scheduled a specific follow-up to call them back, you move into the data follow-up, all that kind of stuff. Everything works on its own. Once you choose that button, everything gets moved completely for you. From there, basically, it goes through a pretty deep automation in order to do that. So this is basically what it does here. Let me just pull up. That's the automation that it does to get all this stuff working totally fine, everything working. These different things here. This one's a little different because it's based on if you schedule a specific day that you want to call them. All this stuff sorted out, working together in order to automate your entire business from one place, adding different tags and stuff when you go ahead and do those dispositions. That way we can go ahead and make sure that they're all moving in the right places in the pipeline and everything from there. So with that being said, that's when you actually go ahead and make the calls. So now that's on dispositions. Active conversation cycles. These are like a little couple things. So once you send a message, it knows that it wants to wait a couple hours, see if the person replies. It defines the reply status. If they don't reply, it moves them to no reply. And if they reply to you, it puts them into here. And then from there, Your job is to go ahead and respond as soon as possible. If you don't respond in like 30 minutes, an hour, depending on where you want to set it to, it'll like send you a ping basically saying, hey, you have a reply that's waiting, stuff like that. And then the no response cycle, this is the big one that kind of manages everything. It's ginormous. You'll see here, once it loads, it actually takes a couple seconds to load. When I open it up full screen, you'll see how big this thing is. You can't even see it. It's so big. We can zoom in though and see the different thing. It checks if they don't respond, are they on the initial time? Have we already talked to them once? Are they hot? Are they short term? Are they future? Is it someone that's dated, so we chose a specific date for them to actually for us to reach out to them? All these different things, it breaks it down into a bunch of different things. Are we in an active conversation? All this stuff to go ahead and tag them so that we know where things are going. And then from there, once they do book a call, we have calendar set up specifically to get them booked on a call. And then what we do is they'll automatically show up in the book sales appointments tab for the initial meeting, any follow-up meetings, and then if the meeting gets canceled by them or by us, or when the meeting starts and it's in progress, did they no-show? Did they show up but you didn't make a deal? Or did they show up and then you close a deal? And then close loss if it's, they're like, never contact me ever again kind of thing. So with all that being said, we've kind of mapped out this whole thing. Let's go ahead real quick and actually import a small list of test leads so you can kind of see. So here we have a list of test leads inside of Google Sheets. All you gotta do is press File, go to Download, and you click on CSV. What that's gonna do is it's gonna automatically download the sheet. You go back into the account here, and then from inside of the Contacts tab, once that loads, you can press on the Import button, and then from here, Contacts, we're gonna press Next. We're gonna click on here and we're gonna drag it into here, create an update contacts, go press Next. You can map out the different fields like business name, for example, average review if you wanted it, review count if you wanted it, years, phone number. This one we want to obviously put because it's phone, and then website is website. All that's good. And let's say that we're not going to put the rest of these not mapped ones into here. I can put don't import 3 unmapped data points, and then go ahead and press Next. We're also going to add a specific tag, which is the outbound tag, which is outbound prospecting import. That way it knows that we're importing them. We check this box, we press Start Import, and then it's going to go ahead and do it. So it's currently 15% of the way done. It's going ahead and doing that. If I refresh, you'll see that it's going to be complete by now. And then if I go into the automation and I go here, 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 you'll see that it's enrolled some people into there. So for example, in the enrollment history right now, it has just gone through and finished those. So then inside of our opportunities, if we go back into the outbound prospecting, it'll take about a minute to show up. All right, and now all the 20 contacts are in here. And now if I want to go ahead and start calling them, all I have to do is go into my contacts tab. And then once I go into my contacts tab, I can go into advanced filters and I can just type in stage. And basically what I'll do is anyone in the outbound prospecting under ready to ping initial, I'm going to go ahead and put them here. There's 20 of them. I'm going to select all 20. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a tag. And I just put PD, which is for our tag called Power Dialer, and add tag. And check the progress on this. And then what it's doing now is it's adding that tag Power Dialer to every single person on there. So that now once that tag is added to all of the contacts that are in there, all I have to do is go into my conversations tab under manual actions. and then it'll have the list of all of them here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then literally once I press let's start, I'm going to just click it and then hang up on the first person just to show you. So it starts ringing. Once I hang up, it'll let me know no response, not interested, booked appointment, dated follow-up hotly, short-term, future, or close lost. And let's say that I put no response and I click on next. This timer will automatically call the next person once it's done. Or what will happen, you can just pause it from there as well, so that like it wouldn't stop, and then you can go ahead and write notes on the contact and do anything you want. We're just going to press next. We're going to end that right there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go into our opportunities tab, and we're going to refresh here, and you'll see here that now there's only 19 here, which means that this one here has already been moved to no response. And then what it's going to do is it's going to wait a certain amount of time, and then it'll move them to retry ping initial. That way we can go ahead and call them a second time to get them to go ahead and answer the phone and hopefully be able to have a conversation with a decision maker to book a call. So that's basically the whole entire system that we've built in order to call people one right after the other, make sure that we make a lot of calls and everything like that. If you're looking to actually get this system, just click on the first link in the description so you can start using this software completely for free to get started. And if you have any questions, feel free to let us know. If you want to know how to actually find the leads like we did, then go ahead and watch yesterday's video where you can click on right here, and I'll see you in the next one.